this is all there's left to do. Pretty much these are all easy shifter, you know, little things. The only thing I'm kind of stuck on is the drive shaft. You guys tell me what the best thing to do is. I don't really want to spend money making a brand new drive shaft, even though I can probably get one out of a truck, longer one. I'll just chop it, match it to the back side. But here's the problem. I was going to do it myself in a drive shaft safety loop, but this is where I'm at. Basically, this is out of a 480 steel one, and this is long enough. If I need to keep it, it's a bit rusty, but it'll do fine. And this is the original one out of the Rx7. The problem with this one is, you can see these guys are a lot, just the U-joints are so small, different. As far as I know, they're non-serviceable of some sort. The early 79, 80, 81 models, I guess. Something about them U-joints, I don't know. Heard a few things. And this backhand, this is the one I want to keep. A flange, it's small too. So I don't know, I can't. Well, the reason I bought this bigger one is I figured, okay, they're so close in size, maybe I can just chop it and slide this thing inside of this tube, and if it's so close and tight by lock, it'll level itself pretty much. It will keep it straight. And if you slide a foot in and it's tight, there's only so much it can be not square with the rest of the drive shaft. With my lock, it's obviously not the case. There's a 1/4 inch or so gap, so 1/8 of an inch on each side. I can't do something, I guess, but I really don't want to chop it from, make it from scratch. Balancing issues, I figured, what are the chances I'm gonna hold it straight? Plus, I still have to take it for balancing, I suppose, before I break anything else. But take it to a shop and have them weld me something out of this one, because this one looks decent. Cut it to length, and then maybe cut this guy and weld it on here a little thicker. I don't know, is it doable? But the problem is I don't want to spend money on it and then take it out twice, do a burnout. I can't drive in the winter time, and it's not gonna sit all winter. Just as is. I'll probably rip the rear end out and swap it to a 488 Ford Explorer ones, chop one side, make it shorter. I gotta do measurements and stuff, but I think it'll be close. And do that, and then I have to take it back in and have them redo the whole drive shaft again. It's not something I really want to do at this moment. Where was I? Oh, the drive shaft. Sorry, I got distracted. So I don't know. Take it in, have them use the original one, weld it the other chunk on, and balance it. Pay for that, and then redo it again with a probably stronger, better drive shaft. I paid $300 last time for a 3-inch steel, 1350 U-joint. I can probably, I don't know, find a cheaper one if I look around, $250 or so. So pay again. I don't want to do it, and I really kind of want to take it out and actually test drive it, because if I do the rear, that's another 2 weeks at least if I crank on it. The rear kind of takes a lot of time, plus, it's the way I do it. It's not the easiest, because I don't buy any of the torque links and stuff. I'll keep. I can see these guys on here. They're kind of short. I might just cut it. Use a threaded rod, one of those kits from Speedway Motors, $80 or so. And we'll need to buy a penhard bar as well, because this one is one of those, the one that pivots right on the rear end itself, and I don't really like those, I guess. So I can just mock my own penhard bar that way. It's about $80 or so, $70 for that. plus $100 for a rear, $30 for an extra axle. You know, it's about $200 worth of, 250, $300 worth of parts to do the rear. 488 with 373 gears. I did 327 in the Volvo. Welded it. I'm not gonna weld it again. It's fine, but it's kind of annoying, I guess. So though you get used to it over time, and in a small car like this, short wheelbase, I'm guessing turning will be even more difficult. Manual steering, which is not as sloppy as, there's not that much play as a Volvo had, because I deleted the power steering. So that's the only thing I'm really kind of still unsure what to do with. The rest is pretty much straightforward. Rear cells in. Let me grab light. So $145 on better. So $145 on eBay for this guy. 15 gallon cell. Speedmasters. There was a foam in there. I took that out. Nice and shiny. Dash 10 fittings in a GM 0 to 90 ohms cylinder unit as well included. So it's a pretty good price. I sold my stock tank, bed rest inside, sumped, which I sumped it myself for $120. So I figured this will do a much better job. That one was a carburetor tank. Too many baffles, too many blinds, vents. I don't know. That one's gonna oddball. This is how I mount it. From the bottom, push lock hose. I'll talk about that later. To the body, same thing on the other side. Vent, I did it this way. Don't ask me why I made this loop right here. I don't know. I figured it looks cool, might help something. I read somewhere some long time ago that, I don't know, wouldn't hurt it, I guess. Just go straight down. I'm sure it's gonna smell like gas in the garage, but we'll deal with it later. There's a return dash 6 adapters from a dash 10 to a dash 6, and these push locks are so great. Two places you can buy those: discounthydraulichose.com or .something sells those. Fittings are a lot easier to order. Shipping kind of kills it, but still pretty good deal. You can buy a hose, but the cheaper place to buy a hose is at Hydraulics Direct. I think so. I think so. It's Hydraulic Directs. The 2112 series push-on hose 3/8. They do sell fittings as well, but kind of difficult to order and doesn't. Some of my kits you can't. It's just a weird website, but slides in there super nicely, just so easy to work with, and I'm never gonna go back to anything else. This is great. Dash 10 for fuel pump. Look at that grommet made myself. For the Bosch 044 pickup. This is just an extra stuff. Fuel pump. Feed. Battery is going to be here in the back. I'll just make some sort of a hold, tie down thing. And this is where the pump is. Look at that rear. I don't know if it's going to last. Even the test drive. This is where the fuel pump sits. Like I said, dash 10 feed, dash 6. This is, in, dash 10 in, and dash 6 out. Fuel filter is there on passenger side, close to the floor. Just a regular cheap eBay, $25, something like that. Dash 6, regular. It's not something super nice or micron wise. It'll do fine. I had no filter in the Volvo at all, and it was fine. So this will do just fine. New tank and fuel cell, no foam in it. I don't see a reason why. So, fuel system. This is, well actually, here's how, I guess I'll show you this. This is pretty much as it's gonna be, except my wastegate. Oh, there's two. I gotta put this guy in somewhere in line here to this guy. So you have to make a throttle cable. I'm just gonna probably get a new one because this one is too short and I can't crank it like that. Kind of a kittywampus that way. I could just crimp it on there, but I need something longer, just at least so it's this way, and that one is way too short. Fuel rails on. SmartFi 80 pounders are in. Blue valve covers, which Ford blue. Hey, who are you to judge me? It's my car, I do what I want. I know it's a bad, I always told everybody painting valve covers is kind of for bad luck, but I was kind of bored one day and was waiting on parts and figured, hey, you know, add some color to it, because everything's so black, you know, black underhood, black stuff, black water pump, even this thing is black. And actually this is how I did it. I might have explained this in the past. Just re-drilled, see how it works. Maybe help, you know, from throwing belts. Wiring, bus bar, everything's going to be connected to here. Fan out of a 2002-ish Ford Focus. And I use those. I've told you guys in the past, I use those nut certs. Super nice, just kind of like a rivet with a, you know, threaded hole on the inside for a bolt. It's so great. I've never had them in the past, and it's may not seem like a big deal, but I use those a lot. Mount this guy so you can actually take it on and off right here. Many other places and spots where you don't want to just drill a hole all the way through and then, you know, bolt it that way. This is just nice. It's nice to have. It doesn't cost anything really. And I use them on the bottom as well. Too easy taking on and off, and zip ties. Zip ties are fine. I use zip ties all the time. Fan is wired like this. Go this way. It's kind of nice and hidden inside of this rail. The relay goes here. Everything connects to this guy. And this is how I powered on and just wired the whole thing. The body is not wired at all. I don't have anything for headlights, turn signals, nothing like that. Windshield wiper, nothing like that. For the rear, all I did is I left the harness 10, 12, 15 wires or so from the back, somewhere in the middle there. So at least I have wires. I don't have to run wire to each one of the headlights and bulbs and stuff. So, you know, save a little bit of time. But as far as wiring the front, I haven't, not, you know, body wise, it's nothing's wired. There's not that much to it, but because I took all the harness out, the whole harness under dash, nothing left except a small harness to the rear. And I'll just do it myself. There's not that much, like I said, a few wires for the headlights and turn signals, and you know, I'm gonna have to tackle sometimes later. Just want to get this thing cranking, started. Probably could. I was a little busy this weekend, but sometimes this week I'll get some fluids in and transmission, hook up the lines, add oil, fuel, the gas, plugs and wires, which I have those, and give it a try, I guess. Electronically wise, it's all wired. Like I said, a few small details like a turbo feed and drain. Actually, about the drain, everything is so tight in here that this is where the wastegate sits. This is where the drain is. And actually, if I put it, I just bought, where was it? There you go. If I put this guy right here, which it fits like such, actually my hose kind of is way too close to the flange, if you can see it somewhere in there, something like that. Yeah, the hose is too close to a flange, and it's I guess it's gonna burn. There's just no other way around it, so I can't do anything else. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna make my own drain, all metal. I'll just use a metal one. I can't weld aluminum. I'll just use a metal one, longer, like 8 inches or so, and just bend it so it's gonna come out somewhere here, and then just piece of hose to the drain somewhere in there in the pan. And this is the trans lines too, so I'll just do it that way. Feed, and this is pretty much it. This is how the fuel is, a return, and what I did, how I, the whole fuel system is this. The line from a fuel pump goes here. I had to, it's so close to the firewall I could put even 90-degree in there. So just got a hole this way, straight down. So the feed, it feeds it here, crossover to the rail, and anything over what 59 psi, 60 psi, just return to the tank. Kind of a simple setup that way, and eBay item as well. And this is fine. This is just where the wipers are, so water gets in there. It's got even vents for it. This is pretty much all there is to it up front. Gotta get this guy to a different one. And this is how she's gonna look. A few holes in the bumper for extra flow. Now on the inside, she's all taken apart, but this is how it's gonna be. So, like such. Don't mind all the extra wires. It's actually rather simple. There's not that much to it. Bam, like this. Wideband, boost, hardware trade, ignition. So all you do is, push start. It's gonna sound just like that. And I wired it because what I've been told is apparently you can't wire to the switch, because starter is the only thing that really draws a lot of power. So any of the switch is not really, can't really handle that much. So all you do is you run up straight from a battery to the starter, and from a starter to a switch on which you can turn it on and off. And pretty much if I just cut it right here, and from the other side to the bus bar I have under the hood, which will power everything in the car. Headlights, engine-wise, everything. So pretty much when I cut the power right here, only power getting is to the starter, which obviously isn't gonna do anything, which is fine. So starter always gets the power it needs. Everything else, if you turn it off, cut the power to the whole car, and it's safer that way, I guess, and the only way I know how to do it. So the gauges to it, be sure to run it to one of the terminals as well. Kind of really simple. This is wires from the starter to the main split there. It's gonna be like that. There's very little to do. All this is just, if I was gonna use turn signals and lights and wipers. So I think I even labeled them. So I'm gonna try to use those, so I don't have too many switches on the dash for headlights and stuff. And one of those funky switches, you can probably put it on a column. Funky switches for turn signals and stuff. If I can use factory, would be great. For here, put some gauges in there, I guess. What else? This is pretty much it, I guess. Like I said, I only need very little. I need very little to get this thing going. Fluids and hoses mainly for the transmission. because I can start it without the radiator hooked up, trans lines. There's your little, it's all done. Trans harness, shifter, and lines. I just have to cut them to length. They're a little too long. Connector on that side. Plug in the connector and make a shifter work, which I'll do later, as long as it's in park. And that's pretty much it. I can. This won't focus. Yeah, well, not that much left. Sometimes this week I'll crank it over. Should fire, if anything. And actually, I don't think I showed. This is where my computer is. Right there. So, plenty of space. I didn't feel like messing with the harness too much because stock truck computer sits in the engine bay, so if I just rotate it in there, I didn't have to change that much really. A little bit of and I had to change the connectors anyway, so change those, the length of the wires, a few other things, and pretty much everything else was good. For the transmission, it's way too long. I'm just gonna bundle it somewhere in there. And I think the next update video will be of this thing running, hopefully. Oh, also, that computer is actually already unlocked and ready to go for a 3-bar speed density tune. I've had it in the Volvo, and something happened. I was writing it, not even the entire, just I was writing the calibration only, messing with the speedo a little. I had troubles with that in the past. On the side of the road, pulled over, shut it off, ignition on. The one adjustment, right calibrations only, go to restart it, and it doesn't do anything. Just wire, kind of the fuel pump just primes for half a second, if not even that, and nothing else happens. No power to coils and stuff. Something happened on the inside, and there's a company, PCMcalibrators.com, I want to say, one of those things. For $70, they can repair, if they can, they will repair your PCM to save your credit. The PCM itself is for $30-40. It's not that bad, but $200 worth of credits. You're looking at $250 or so total to get the computer going. And if you have a burnt one, they'll fix it for $70, which is it's $60 plus 10 shipping, plus you pay $10 to ship it or so. So let's say $80 even for that. I say it's a good deal. I haven't even tested it yet, actually, even though I have everything hooked up. I'll test it sometimes this week. Crank this guy over, and let's hope it starts. But let me know if you guys have any ideas of what to do with the drive shafts. Really don't want to, pay twice for the same thing. And I know I probably can. I can try to weld it myself, but it won't be that accurate. So this is it. I'll update you guys later.